everyone. First of all, welcome. I would like to apologize for a 10-minute delay. We have had a technical operation and we have had to delay due to that reason. And I will be speaking about KORDSA. I will be speaking our basic investing areas and what type of services we are giving on the composite business. If I speak about myself briefly, I do have a technical infrastructure. I have educated from the Department of Chemistry, and then I'm continuing executive MBA, and this is my 9th year in KORDSA. And on the composite technologies at the Center of Excellence, I'm working as a project leader. When we look at the general structure of KORDSA, first of all, I'd like to mention that we do have a very huge Sabancı family, and we are a part of this family. And like Teknosa and KORDSA, we do have retailing business companies, and we do have Çimsa and Akçansa in the cement business, and Aksigorta and Vesa in insurance are actively working and operating. In banking business, we do have Akbank in the industrial area. We do have KORDSA, Brisa, Yunsa, Temsa Global. And in the energy business, we do have Enerjisa. We are the member of this huge and big family. When we look at the general structure of KORDSA has changed its logo as with the motto Reinforcer. So, besides providing reinforcing products, composite technologies comes the first, of course. And we do have a new area which we have started to work is the construction market. As KORDSA, we do have more than 4,000 employees and operating in 6 businesses in 5 countries and distributing over 4 continents. And when we look at a brief history of KORDSA, 1973, in Izmit, in our main factory, we have been established, and later on, more than 1 merging and acquisitions with DuPont, Hughes, and Sakulsa. We have had some merging activities and collaborations, and we do have the huge volume that we have right now. In 2006 and 2007, we do have a very important cornerstone, which has been established, our R&D center. Our R&D center is not only working with the tire technologies, but also composite technologies. We do have a center of excellence which is working on the composite products. In 2016, we have opened our center of excellence, and we have completed our activities throughout then. Our main value chain is basing on starting production of raw materials, adipic acid and HMD and NY66 salt and flakes, and twisting operation is taking place. And then we do have the backlink activities, we do have the welding operations, and we do have the grade fabric. It is not the tire compound yet, but when it comes sticky, we do have a dipping operation. With the latex solution, we are coating our product, and as a result of that, when we look at the whole picture, fiber production and flow, of course, the buckling of the fiber, and then welding of the fiber, and coating are the main processes that we have in hand. I would like to speak more about our reinforcing technologies. We seem to have some activities in the tire business for 43 years. We do have some dynamic structures when we look at the tire structure, and KORDSA is providing its highest value, and we have decided to bring our value and quality to the other business areas. And before passing to the composite business, KORDSA is one of the important companies, and we do have the global leadership in the tire industry, from the plain wheel tires to the different types of tires. Out of each 4 tires, we do have KORDSA reinforced type of tires. So we are following a certain strategy. And when we look at our strategy house, our vision, our colors, I mean red, green and blue, do have some specific reasons. When we look at the red zone, this is our leadership area. So we do have less profit in this area because the pie is being shared with more partners. And by establishing our center of excellence, we have started to give a sound to a very promising area. We have continued our activities on the reinforcement sites. Reinforcement is working for the composites industry, and we are producing the construction industry. And also we do have some fiber alternatives for the adjacent industries. When we look at the red side, we are producing our products for the tire business, and we do have some competitive costs, and we do have very agile process and teams, lean and agile process and teams. So we need to respond to the demands of the market as soon as possible. Of course, product and services quality and also security and safety is very crucial, and we are so much customer oriented. We are disseminated all around the world. We do have 5 main companies. We do have Continental, Pirelli, Goodyear type of tire companies. There are main customers, but besides those, in global means, each tire manufacturer is our customer, so we are serving according to their own needs. And when we look at the portfolio of KORDSA, for the tire industry, we do have nylon and polyester-based tire reinforcement fibers and fabrics for tires. And on the other side, we do have a next-generation fabric and textile reinforcement materials for green tires, and high-performance monofilaments are being produced. And also we do have, for the construction reinforcement technologies, we do have macro and micro fibers to reinforce concretes used for tunnels and floors. And we do have reinforcement materials against the earthquakes. When we look at the composite technologies, we do have carbon fibers and aramids and hybrid fabrics, and thermoset prepregs for automotive and industrial applications are being produced by us. And we do have thermoplastic prepregs. On the R&D side, we are continuing to work on thermoplastic prepregs. Why we are producing prepregs? You can ask this question because we would like to create a value chain, as we have said, and before investing to the composite technologies in the center of excellence, according to the size and according to the volume of the market, we have seen that prepreg business really fits our target. As you all know it very well, when we look at carbon industry, we do have pen precursor, polymer chemistry, something that we are familiar with. But KORDSA is the big player in this market, and we are collaborating with them, and we are very honored to have this collaboration. It is not the carbon fiber manufacturing. We are starting from the fabric sides. We do have the welding quality, so we would like to make use of that. We do have epoxies, and we do have the formulations. We are able to develop these in the weaving technologies, and in the final production we are in contact with some subcontractors, and we are collaborating with our customers according to their demands and needs, and manufacturing according to their needs. And any type of business which is related with composite business is our interest. The investment that we have done is answering the needs of different business areas. I have mentioned to you, so when we look at it within the structure, we do have tire cord fabric structure. We are able to do fiber production, we are able to twist and weave, and we are able to provide coating with resin. Normally we were using latex. And when we look at the business that we are investing in the preprex industry, we do not start from the fiber manufacturing. We are starting from the weaving process, and then we are passing to the coating side. Our priority is our clients, and we are focused so much on our clients coming together and learning their needs, hearing their needs, and we do have some detailed definition of the requirements, and as a result of that, we are customizing our products. And from ideation to the prototype production, we are giving a full process support. And what have we done so far? We have established our Center of Excellence, as I have told you, in 2016 and we have, by the month of August 2016, we have opened officially. For the very first time, university and industry collaborated under a single roof. So we are carrying on our studies under this campus. We do have R&D centers belonging to KORDSA, and we do have composite characterization labs. We do have a highly equipped laboratory infrastructure. And besides those, we do have Sabancı University PhD programs. All of the academicians and PhD students are also collaborating with us. And for the composite technologies, they are working together at the Center of Excellence. Güler Sabancı and our Prime Minister have joined our opening ceremony. These are the views from the inside of our campus. These are the classes. We do have 2 PhD programs in our Center of Excellence. We do have 30 PhD students, and we are aiming to increase it to 90. And we do have a common laboratory, and what do we have in this laboratory? We do have wet chemistry laboratory. We do have chemistry studies. As I have told you, we are not producing the products. We are making the resin formulation. And when we look at our daily life, you know it very well. The coating on the floor is epoxy, and also epoxy matrix, which is being used on the planes. So their temperature, their function, their basic parameters are changing. So for this reason, our formulation capability and the place that we will be making a difference, creating a difference, is this side. And in the material characterization laboratory, you can see here, we do have more than 1 dynamometers and any type of interlinears and tensile strength, point bending and 2-point bending type of composite tensing tests are able to be done. So any type of composite tests can be done mechanically. We do have mechanically characterization laboratory. Drop tower can also be seen here, and there are some instrumental analyzing methodologies, and different formulations are being characterized. When we look at our production line, I have told you we are producing epoxy resin structures, and we do have thermoset epoxy prepreg. Our moving point is serving to the aviation business in the long run. So we have looked at the demands from this business, and we have made an investment to this field. First of all, we do have 2 phases, 2 lines in the production. First of all, we are producing the film, and the sensitive film later on is being coated. It can be on glass, can be on carbon or ammeter. We do have the second phase in the line of production. And with the thermoplastic prepregs, we are following the business very closely. We are having some trials and experiments on the R&D side, and we are preparing our characterizations in accordance with the needs. When we look at our product portfolio, it is not on the prepreg, but also we do have the woven fabrics in Izmit. In our main campus, we do have our weaving activities, and in prepreg activities, we carry on our objectives and our activities in our campus in Center of Excellence. UV, plain and thin type of major or non-crimped fiber type of weaving and coating can be done When we look at our capability in weaving styles, carbon, aramid, and glass fibers can be weaved. And when we look at the weaving style, any type of weaving style, two-sided weaving style can be used. And our limit is reaching to 1,700 millimeter, up to 1,700 millimeter, and 1K to 50K. Any type of torquant and carbon weaving can be done. And when we look at our area per meter square is 120 to 150. We have established our center in 2016 August. We do have 2.5-year R&D activity, and after having the investment decision, we have taken our major projects and started work on the resin system. So when we look at our commercial products, 110 and 130 can be coded, and we have developed them. For the high temperature applications, we are mainly focusing on the aviation business and automotive business. These products are being preferred by these businesses. Additional to those things that I have told you, there are some preplexy systems, autoclave studies, and we do have fast curing systems. If you're interested in fast curing, on Saturday, we will be having another presentation. Cem will be delivering a presentation about fast curing systems. And about aerospace and defense, we do have high toughness degree and flame retardancy type of phenolic resin systems and isolamide products. So if you're interested in these products, you can get further details about the defense business. What are we doing as KORDSA? I have briefly informed you. We do have life protection products. I would like to briefly talk about those products. As you all know it very well, everything is starting from fiber. And then comes the weaving, and then comes the coating. We are doing weaving and matrix production and prepreg production. And we are also doing the cutting. And after those processes, we do have a very frequently asked question. Are you a final product producer? No, we are not. If you are transforming the material from a metal to composite, our center is capable of doing that. So from the idea creation until the manufacturing of the prototype, it is possible to carry on the operations. We do have the ovens, we do have the infrastructure and production lines, but in the serial production we are just delivering the product to our customer, and if you do have a subcontractor or a third party, they are carrying on the rest of the operation. When we look at the ballistic business,
everything that we think about as covers or anything that like weavings, etc., are done in in defense. On the other side, we are actually very much bounded to the external world. But what are we doing? We are using some certain productions and anti-ballistic vests and helmets, and we are preparing the prepregs also for the vehicle armorings. When we talk about body armor, on the other hand, let us see it sector by sector. When we talk about body armor, there are three main classes. One of them is that it is actually resistant to any kind of bullets, and they are bulletproof vests, and they are also very much protected for any type of a knife. How can they be classified? As a matter of fact, there are many standardizing studies going on in the world, but most NIJ, which is very well known by the United States, a national organization, has made actually an evaluation and assessment about it. There's also another classification which is called CAST in the United Kingdom. So as for bullet and as for blades, there are standardized tests. What can we understand from this table? We can see from the table that NIJ level, when we call NIJ level 2A, approximately 3.5 km per meters of a scale and a 4 millimeter of a thickness of a body armor can actually be resisted towards all these bullets, and as you can see here. As for level 3, you can see here you need to wear actually approximately 20 millimeters of a thickness of a vest for any kind of aerial space for 32.5 kilograms per meter. These are all calibers. As the ammunition, and also the ammunition cannot actually make a hole in the vest. If I have a vest of 35.5 kilograms, and if it is 20 millimeter in thickness, then it means that yes, I am actually resistant to that type of an ammunition. And this high resistancy is also resistant towards slightly smaller types of bullets as well, but the reverse is not possible. When we think about the etched plate levels, one can be assumed for knife resistances and one can be assumed for bullet resistancy. Let's think F divides by the aerial space. The force that you use becomes a little bit more obvious, and that's the reason why the threat that is used might actually harm you even more. The test is done separately. The CAST, the United Kingdom standards, are generally used. Now we have the KR1, KR2 standards that CAST has assessed. The total aerial space is 1.9 kilogram coming from the threat. The energy is 24 joule, and it is a threat coming by 5 meters per second. And if it's making a hole for 7 millimeters, that means that this vest is protecting me against the threat. These tests are made parallelly. Actually, the threat that has been used and the ammunition are actually done with a certain type of a row that is in balance. With the spring that we take out, it actually increases the kinetic energy and also the speed, and thus the threat becomes even more bigger. So as a result of the test, if the KR1 is protecting you at 7 millimeter, then it is actually a vest that you're wearing at A1 level, E1 level. But as a result of 20 millimeters, as in the second class, that means that actually that vest is protecting you at an AE2 level. If this vest is passing the first level, it can only protect you at 7 millimeters. But if you can pass the second test, then it is actually great. It is a good armor. It is actually protecting you by 20 millimeters. So the test standards are actually just the same. The first one is United States and the other one is United Kingdom standards. Spikes, on the other hand, when you get closer to the spikes, F divides by A, the space is just actually a tip of a needle. Even the force is the same. The possibility of the spike to actually harm you is higher. You cannot make the two steps. You can only make the test AE1 and E2, and you cannot pass the second test. It is generally made for not for the ballistic protection, but it has been used actually generally in it's a test that has been used in prisons, because in the prisons they cannot reach to plates perhaps, but they can actually reach to some kind of a tool like a spike. So it has generally been used in prisons. So with a kinetic energy at 7 millimeter, you can create a harm and can create a great threat on the other side. As for the vest, this is all I can say. As I told you before, if I'm going to wrap it up, starting from it's bulletproof, spike-proof, and blade-proof. As for helmets, today the weight is 1,250 grams that we use in our army in Turkey, but it has to be a little bit more comfortable. So there's also another problem here. You increase the protection level against any kind of a rifle bullet, but let me show you right now with a slide. You either use aramid or ultra-high molecular weight polymers has been used for helmets, and the level of protection is a toughness and stiffness. You need to have an optimal level of toughness and stiffness. If it's very soft, then the harm that you receive, like in a polyethylene sample, these are all actually taken by video cameras. That thread is getting closer to the head because it's soft, but later on it springs it back. This is the reason why, yes, it is actually very light in weight. It creates a protection, but on the other side, it creates also the back face deformation. Due to that reason, it creates also a problem. The reason why we use aramid on the other side, as you can see here on the upper side, the dynamic reflection is a little bit less compared to this ACH. As for vehicle threats, we can think about it in a 3 level. Your first target is to avoid the hit. You can see here in the maritime vehicles or in the other vehicles with the electronic systems, you are target to not be in the focus of the missiles. And secondly, you avoid penetration. What do you mean about it? Either using add-on armor or structural armor, this threat has to be, I want to be away from penetrating this type of a threat. How can I make it be realized? I either use a ballistic steel, or all design of the vehicle is going to actually spring from the vehicle itself. Generally, these vehicles are like the V shape because it changes the angle of a mine in order so that it actually prevents to give more harm to the vehicle. And on the other side, there's integrated plates as well on the vehicles. Let me show you. There are such plates which can be also put inside the vehicle where you can increase the level of protection. You have done it. If you cannot do this, if you even done everything that you have at hand, but still couldn't succeed, then you cannot avoid the killing. So, okay, you use the armor, steel, but after a certain period of time it becomes such way that your vehicle cannot carry it anymore. Now this is an ammunition. It's a Kalashnikov or type of a Kalashnikov threat. It's an ammunition of a Kalashnikov. And such a protection is it's at about 35 per meter square. The aramid, by using inserts and panels, you can prevent the threat with lighter solutions. As you can remember, as for the armor, I was talking about the niche standards and IJ standards. When I start talking about the vehicles, as you can see, there are B4, B5, B6, B7 standards. B4 NIJ is 3A, B7 is actually NIJ4. What does B4 mean? What does B7 mean? B7 means your armor is actually Kalashnikov. So against this threat, what type of a protection can you realize? And as for bullets, the B4 can protect you against, for instance, a Magnum, or B5 or B6 and B7. You can see to which bullet it actually protects you. What you have to know here is, and after B4 level, the ultra-high molecular weight polyurethane or the aramid plates become such a level that it becomes very weighty, it becomes very heavy or you have to change the design of the vehicle. And in order to create the protection here, an extra bore carbide or ceramic panels have to be used. What I mean here is, rather than plain solutions, hybrid solution would be more proper for you. I was talking about spore liners with real data. When I take a look to the matter, when a spore liner or a special steel has not been used, out of 879 samples, there are 10% of death. If you use a heavy truck, that means that there is a 0.3 death ratio according to 3,230. Let me show you the main target of and the main objective of spore liners. It is actually diminishing the effect area and is decreasing the number of shrapnels. This is a vehicle where spore liner is not used. The number of fragments is high and the angle is high. Here spore liner is used, the thread is the same, the fragment is smaller and the angle is smaller. This is our aim here. Again, when a spore liner is not used, there's 47 angles of a thread area and 6,440 centimeters square, and 1 meter of distance creates an effect area. When you use a spore liner, however, that amount decreases immediately. And these are some certain visuals from real samples. This is a spore liner coming from the vehicle. The spore liner has been used, the thread has come. This is a hole that you can see, and this is a backside of where the thread has been shot. And here you can see, I have been talking about the BR4 standards, etc. Now, in general, the ammunition that you are using, the angle, the diameter, the shape can change. It can be oval, it can be heavier, it can be lighter. The values are constantly changing. When we come to BF7 standard, now we talk about actually weapons that are actually rifles, which can immediately be used on very special armors. The V50 testing has been it's very important for the defense industry. The velocity of the bullets, where 50% of the bullets don't penetrate and 50% of bullets do penetrate, is a V50 rating for that ballistic protection. I just wanted you to show a video, but if we cannot open it here, now there is you're making. So the V50. Why do we say V50? Actually, the ballistic sector is a statistics science, because you never can talk about certain things. Why? Because we were talking about V50. V50 is the 50% of the threats that pass the limit of the speed. If that amount comes to 0, if you want to reach to 0, you need to reach up to numbers to 30 to 40. So you can report V0, V50, and V75 as well. But generally, we actually use the V50 level. If we need to wrap up, in the beginning of my presentation, KORDSA is actually with its 45 years of technology, it's been helping the composite sector, and also it's been used in the defense sector and construction sector and the production portfolio. We can KORDSA is capable of coating PVB, phenolic, PVB, epoxy coating, and various types of reinforcement fabrics. And what the advantage of it is that it has a long-term agreement with its suppliers, and that's the reason why it doesn't have any kind of a supply issue or any kind of a challenge about that. Again, as for the ballistic sector, if we need to emphasize some certain important issues, the design that you are making and the product that you are doing is very much important for the end product. Even though you have the best product at hand, if the soldier is not using it, then that means that that product is not being used. And during design, everything has to be tackled in a very serious manner. And so far, all the products that we have made so far, including the AFIO main center, many suppliers have been used our products in the defense sector and ballistic sector and also in the composite sector. Thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you for being here. Good day.